Okay. So let's take a seated position. And just a gentle cross in the legs. That's it, lovely. And let yourself come to your mat and to your practice and to your breath. And I like to lower my eyes here because it just allows the intentions, the reflections to turn inwards slightly. A couple of questions just to ask yourself here. How are you today? And rather than maybe coming up with a verbal response that you might be saying out loud, perhaps you can simply allow yourself to feel how you are without trying to put words to it too much. I'd like you to also ask yourself a couple of questions. So for example, where do you feel tension in your body? And where do you feel softness and ease? And what, of course, our practice will do is hopefully draw more of a connection between the places that feel easeful, and we'll hopefully draw that sense to the places that feel tense. And how is your posture today? Do you feel upright and alert? Are you more drawn to the earth? Just noticing these things. Lovely. And then inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Take a look at the thumbs. So lift the gaze, and then exhale, let the right arm come over to the left knee. And just take a gentle twist here. So really, really easy, nice twist there. Take a couple of breaths and let yourself take your time in turning your gaze over towards your left shoulder. So maybe by your third breath, you can look directly behind you because this is going easy into the neck. And then we're going to inhale, release. And you can probably guess, we're going to take the left palm over to the right knee and take that twist into the opposite direction. So I'd like you to start to feel the twist from your base, so where you're touching the earth. Let yourself feel how your left arm, your left shoulder can be recruited to draw your torso into the twist. And it will help you broaden in the back and allow more space for breath, where you may start to feel a little bit more contracted around the navel. And once again, very gently taking the gaze to the back. And then unravel there. And I'd like you to come and sit on your knees now. And we'll do a very similar little sequence. So inhale, draw the arms up overhead. And then exhale once again, the right knee, the right palm to the left knee. And then you need to place your left palm behind you and lean back into the left palm. Lovely. So you're getting a twist, but you're also leaning back slightly. And then as you inhale, I'd like you to lift up through the hips and lift your right arm up into the air. Find the armpit and take the gaze to the fingertips and feel the length of the body. 3 breaths. And then allow your sit bones to find your heels once again. And just let your arm take a few twirls here. So maybe 3 circles in one direction, enjoying the range of motion, and 3 in the opposite direction. Lovely. And then you can let the final circuit allow you to come back upright. And we'll take that in the opposite direction. So you can lean back into your right hand. Inhale the left arm up. And think about the left arm coming a bit diagonally. So it's pointing to the opposite corner. Sort of the right hand side corner behind you. And enjoy a few breaths and the length in the side of the body that this creates. Lovely. Then can you sink the hips down? And then once again, let that left arm go through a few rotations one way. Really enjoying the range of motion. And perhaps the sense that the momentum eases into perhaps a depleted or slightly stiff area of the shoulder socket there. And then we're going to keep our hands back. So let your left hand come and meet your right hand, leaning back. You can have your fingertips pointing towards you, if you like, or pointing away from you. And then very gradually, just start to lift the hips away from the heels. And it doesn't have to be far at all. Squeeze the sit bones together and let the chest lift into the air. So it might be nicer to keep your chin tucked. Please avoid letting your head just drop straight back, so it crunches the cervical spine. One more breath here. And then exhale, like you to melt forward and come into a nice child's pose. So lovely counter posture. Maybe making a little pillow with your forehead. You can stack your palms on top of each other. Or you can have your arms down by your side and the forehead to the earth. Lovely. Inhale and draw up. And then we're going to come sort of to hands and knees. Take your right palm onto the mat just underneath the nose. Inhale the left arm up and open. Stand open in the chest. And then we're going to let that left arm thread underneath the right arm. And you can also extend your right leg out to the side here. Then if you'd like a little more, you can inhale up through the right arm, bend at the elbow, and see if you can catch your left thigh. So you work your palm around your left waist. And again, take a few nice deep breaths here. Check in. How do you feel? Where do you feel space? And where do you feel tension? And let this focus of yours, see if you can start to connect the places that feel easeful, and see if that, with the places that feel tension, and see if that easefulness can soften you and can spread throughout your body. And then we'll extend the right palm down so we can let the left arm draw from back underneath your palm. And if you had your leg extended out to the side, you can bring it back in. And if you like to do that on the other side, you can now extend the left out to the side. This time we're going to place the left palm underneath the nose. Inhale, the right arm up, leaning over, lovely. And then exhale, thread the needle, let the right ear come to the mat. If you want a bit more, inhale the left palm up, fold at the elbow, tuck that palm and catch your right thigh, if it's available to you. Once again, a really nice place to focus on your breath. You're nice and held by the earth and see where your breath can go. What can your breath do about moving places within your body and creating space? How can it soften your state of being? Lovely. Let's inhale the left arm up and then press the palm back into the earth so that you can lift the shoulders away and create the space to bring palm and knee back underneath you into all fours. Just a couple of inhales and exhales in cat-cow. So as you roll the spine, take the gaze to the navel, really push the shoulder blades up. And then, especially as you exhale. As you inhale, let the navel drop, draw the shoulders back, look up in front of you, and let the neck be long and spacious. Let the belly feel like there's a line along the belly, front belly, which is really drawing a little longer. Exhale, round and tuck the navel, gaze to navel. And then we're going to tuck the toes and push into our first downward facing dog. Walk your dog through, so bend left and right, open up the backs of the legs nice and gently. That can feel really nice. And I'd like you to take your knees, both knees, so keep your feet hip width apart, bend into the knees and point them over to the right. Try and keep your shoulders level to the front of the mat, but enjoy how that, again, opens up through the side body. And then can you draw the knees back to parallel, the feet back to parallel. See if you can send your heels towards the earth. Open up the backs of the legs. A couple of deep breaths here in your symmetrical pose. Maybe blubber out the lips a little to relax the face. And then take the knees over into the opposite direction. So both knees point towards the left. Again, try and keep your shoulders level to the front of the mat. Gorgeous. Then we're going to lift the left leg up nice and high into the sky and step it between the palms. Drop the right knee down and inhale. The arms back and up. So you're coming into Anjali Asana. You want your torso lifting away from your thighs, the belly drawing away from the ground, lifting up your spine, chest is shining towards the sky, and then exhale, draw your palms down and your right palm comes inside your left leg, and inhale, span your left arm up, so you're coming into a nice supported twist here. Get your belly breath back, so soften the belly breath. It's going to feel a bit constricted. Smile. And then I'd like you to lower that palm down. Now bring your left hand down inside the left foot. Tuck the back toe. You've got both palms down now, and you're coming up onto the ball of the back feet. Now keep the left leg and the left lower arm really pushing together against each other. Rotate your back foot so the outer edge of the back leg can find the floor, and maybe your toes are pointing to about 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And then lift up the right arm. Doing a really nice open twist here. Lovely. Let that palm come back down again and turn your back feet towards the short front edge of the mat. And we'll come to lizard. So you can lower your knee down if you like. You're going to keep the knee lifted, push through the back heel so you can feel it's really strong. If you want to go a bit deeper, you can lower onto your forearms. And you can turn onto the outer edge of your left foot. Going into the hips. So find your breath here. Maybe 5 of your breaths. Lovely. And then push back up, coming onto the palms, and in a nice gentle step forward, both feet come to the top of the mat and turn the toes out and sink down into your first malasana. So, hello hips. Push your palms together, lengthen through the spine. Tuck your chin up so slightly. Feel the cervical spine, so that's the back of your neck. Feel that extend slightly. Smile, release. Two more breaths here. Then I'd like you to place your right palm outside down and across your right leg. We're going to come into the twist here, Malasana. And then inhale, the left arm comes up. Beautiful, lovely. 5 breaths here. Enjoy the reaching up of the arm and the dropping down of the pelvis. Beautiful. Come back to center, take a breath, neutralize, perhaps wriggle the hips left and right gently. And then we're going to let the left hand palm span down, place it on the mat, let the left arm prop the left knee. Inhale, draw up, look at the right palm. Enjoy the twist. Enjoy your space. Lovely. Let's lift ourselves up and out of the squat. So place the weight onto the palms. Inhale, lift up the hips, and then you can take your step back into downward facing dog. Walk through your dog because your legs might be feeling a little bit freer now that you've released from the malasana. So allow that blood to simply rush back into all that past the joints, down into the base of the feet. Inhale up through the palms, up through the soles. Draw the navel towards the spine. Exhale, release the breath. Through the mouth if you like. That can feel like you're really releasing a lot with that. Couple more breaths here. Enjoy the symmetry. Enjoy the steadiness of your foundation. And then we're going to inhale and the right leg comes up and steps between the palms. And then we lower the back knee down, untuck the back toe, inhale up into Anjali Asana. So we're thinking about drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, but at the same time the torso lifts up and away from the pelvis. Gaze is up to the sky. And then we're going to let the left palm come down inside the right foot and the right arm draws up to the sky. Here's your closed twist. Then we're going to drop that right palm down and push it now. It comes and it sits inside the right foot. The right forearm and the right leg, lower leg, can push against each other for extra stability as you extend your back leg so that your knee lifts off the floor. That's an option. You don't have to take that option. It just includes a little bit more strength in the twist. And then we're going to inhale and blossom the left arm up and open. And you can let your back leg come down. So your outer edge of the back foot, pardon me, makes good contact with the earth, a bit like a warrior two base. Your toes would be pointing to 11 o'clock, I think, here. Couple more breaths here, once again, asking yourself, where do I feel ease? And how can that ease connect with areas of tension and sort of overcome the tension? One more breath here, and then we're going to release down to the earth. Both palms are now tucked inside the front foot. And you rotate the toes to face the front edge of the mat once again, coming into lizard. So lowering down, enjoying perhaps being on your palms or being on your forearms, perhaps letting your knee drop if that feels best to you today, or keeping the back knee active. Now, if your back knee is lifted or down, it doesn't matter. You can still see what it's like to roll out onto the outer edge of the right foot. So that gets a bit deeper into the hip, the right hip. 3 more breaths here. Lovely. Inhale and let yourself come up to your palms. And once again, we're going to step the back foot towards the front. And this time, walk them together as we come into a nice soft forward fold. Take the right palm and place it on the mat just in front of your nose as you look down. And then inhale, let the left arm roll up. Exhale, release. And then take the left palm and replace it where the right arm was. Inhale, let the right arm draw up. And release. So see if you can do this a couple of times with your breath. Place the right palm down. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, right hand down. So where in your spine gives nicely in this twist, and where feels a little bit more built up with tension. Come back to that question of how you can bring easefulness to that area. One more time either side, finishing with the left side coming down. And then I'd like you to keep your feet together, knees together and thighs together, bend down and sit into the chair. Inhale, the arms come in front, and you're going to make prayer pose and really push the chest up. So we need to create space in the midriff here. We're going to go into a twist. So we're going to take the right elbow and tuck it to the left knee. So inhale, lengthen the front body, and then bring your right elbow to the outside edge of your left knee, and you're looking over to the left, so a really nice twist here. Just come to the top of the mat this way. Okay, so I'd like you just to get your hips in line with your crown, so they're not pointing over towards your right too much. And if you like, you can let your right palm come down and extend your left arm up. That's a bit deeper. So find what's right for you today. And then I'm going to take the weight a bit off my right foot and step it back. So I'm in a low lunge. Lovely. And come back into that prayer that we were in to begin with, so that you can keep that sit beautiful. Enjoy this nice twist. Really, really good. And if you want to, once you've found the position, you can expand the arms again. Lovely. 5 breaths. Okay, let's have some fun. We're going to take the hands down by our left side, step the back foot forward again, and let the knees come over to the right. So what we want to do is, first of all, make sure that our hands are really spanned wide onto the floor. Press your thumbs into the ground and turn the eyes of the elbows towards each other. You're going to find your legs are pressing against your right forearm. You're going to find that happening a bit, yeah? Okay, what we're going to do is try and go into a side crow. Yay! So what we're going to do is lift the hips up, bend the elbows, and use the forearms, the upper arms, pardon me, as a slight, like, ledge, leaning over and just lifting the feet up off the earth. You probably want to try and get your hips so that they also stack onto your left upper arm. So really twisting around. Bend into those elbows. You need to hold in that navel area. and then come down. Beautiful, love it. Okay, place the palms down and let the knees, the feet come mat width apart, so you're at the top of your mat and you're in symmetry. So like a very short downward facing dog, try and place your palms on the mat in front of you. Shake your head, perhaps bend your knees left and right, and see what you need to do to release any sort of hang-ups about the last posture or the last sequence. And then come to a place of stillness. Once again, enjoy the symmetry, enjoy the freedom of the breath. And then walk the feet together. Bend the knees, sink the hips, inhale, come into your prayer pose. And we're going to take now the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Draw long in the torso. Draw your navel, your belly away from the thighs. Take your gaze over towards the left. Couple of breaths here before you expand, if you're going to. And 3 breaths more now. Try and remember to keep your hips in line with your crown and your both knees in line with each other. And then draw the palms back into prayer so that you can step back with a little bit more support knees. So after a couple of breaths of finding yourself in that nice twisted lunge, beautiful. Place the left palm down if you can. Expand the right arm up, lovely. And then we're going to let the palms come back to prayer once again. Step the back leg forward and we're going to try side crow on the other side. So really bend down into the hips. Let the knees this time come over to the left, palms over to the right. Really, really span your palms, your fingertips. Index finger points forwards. Roll the forearms. There's bones there that will have a little twist in them when you roll the eyes of the elbows towards each other. And that helps with the weight bearing. Then you need to lift up a little bit so that you can get your right knee, or the crease of your right knee, sort of, that's what you want towards your left upper arm. And then you can take some weight through your left arm and come into your side crow. Or try, because it's actually really fun to do something a bit different. Humans need variety and challenge. So let's do this. Draw the navel in. Keep your gaze slightly lifted. Think about flying. Lovely. Drop it. Drop the hips, come to the floor. Feel the safety of the floor. Come into Baddha Konasana, so a nice symmetrical pose. Feet come together. Sides of the bodies draw up. Hips relax so that knees can release down. Take your thumb over the ball of the foot. Open your feet like a book to relax the ankles. That will also release you in the knees. And enjoy the breath. And come back to that sense of questioning. Where do you feel ease? Where does your breath find space? Couple more breaths. And then let the legs come out nice and wide. Now we're going to go over to the left-hand side first, and what I'd like you to do is reach your left elbow down inside of your left knee if you can. Lovely. And then let the left hand rest. It turns palm down onto the ankle. And inhale, the right arm comes up and over. Lovely. So let yourself enjoy how gravity and a bit of your intention too finds extra space in the way. Two more breaths. Just check with yourself that your right hip isn't peeling off the floor. Try and keep your hips stable and symmetrical. See if you need to heavy anchor through that right hip a little bit more. Lovely. Inhale and draw upright, and then we'll just come through to the other side. So the right elbow drops down in front of the right knee. Rotate at the wrist to let the palm come down or take hold of the foot. And then let the left arm come up. And then just again, think about less anchoring through the left hip. And take the gaze underneath the left armpit. And find that place, the space that's created in this asana. As we come towards the cooling down part of our practice, you may start to let the focus go in a little bit. So inhale and draw up. And let the knees come, bend as the soles of the feet come down to the earth. And I'm just going to release down onto the mat and take a couple of supine twists. So let the arms come out wide if you've got the space. If you don't quite have the space, just bend up at the elbows. Let the fingertips point upwards. You look a bit like a cactus from above. It's a good space saving technique. And then we're going to let the knees draw into the chest slightly by lifting the feet up off the ground. Perhaps take a couple of rocks with the knees left and right to ease down through the pelvis. Feel that massaging down the lower back. Might even like to let the knees circle one way and the other to extend that sense of massage and relief. And then we're very simply just going to allow the knees to drop to one side. It doesn't matter which. Mine are going over to the left, and my gaze is then going to go over to the right. Mine goes to the right, my gaze to the left. My right palm is going to come on top of my top leg. And it's probably best to draw the knees as close as possible to the chest. So for both of them, just lifting them up and drawing them in towards you a little bit to protect the lower back. Now these postures are simple, steady, supported. It's a different sort of input that's needed here. And I wonder if here you can really release down into the twist. Let the breath find the space, find the ease. The twists are said to be incredibly good for spinal health. Moving the spine in all its directions and all the variations you can move it is incredibly good for its health, for our health. So much of our health is linked to spinal health. It's also said to be good for our organs to kind of compress them in this way, and the muscles involved in a stretch, when you compress them, the muscles get sort of flooded with oxygen and flushed through. So this is where the idea of detoxifying comes in with twists. Let's inhale and let the knees come upright. Perhaps just take a moment where it's almost like a moment of self-care where you embrace yourself. So draw the knees in towards the armpits or in towards the chest. And kind of hang there with a sense of embrace. Might be nice to place palms on the chest. And just give yourself a little bit of a feeling of what you need. So if this was a hug with a best mate, or a hug from somebody who really kind of reassures you, holds you well, see if you can bring that quality, that sense to this moment here. And then we're going to let the arms come wide once more and come into that twist in the opposite orientation. Gaze in the opposite direction from the knees. How's your breath? Where is there tension? Where is there ease? Think about how to connect the areas of ease with the areas of tension. And let the ease flood the tension. Couple more breaths here. And if you had your arm on the top knee, take that arm off. And then inhale, draw the top knee open. And you may need to put your bottom knee a little further down so that you can rotate at the hips. Let the knees fall out and you're in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So I'm doing a couple of adjustments here, just pressing the feet together, lifting the hips off the earth, laying them back down on the mat. That feels better. So the knees fall out to the side. You're facing up to the sky. Moment of symmetry, openness, willingness to accept, or perhaps offering of generosity. And of course, there's a constant exchange of the two in our lives. And when those two things are in balance, we feel so well. And we can both offer generously and receive openly. Hopefully some of your movement today will have increased your capacity for both. Let the legs stretch out wide now if you like, or you can stay in Supta Baddha Konasana too. That's a personal choice. The arms can come in just a little bit, or if you like that feeling of being spread like a star on the floor, then you can stay there too. Can you let your face really relax here? So just unknot any ties in the brow. Let the lips slightly part, maybe slightly smile. The tongue is loose in the mouth and the throat widens. The shoulders draw down to the earth as the flesh on the underside of the arms shines up towards the sky. You become aware of your breath and the quality of your being. Let those two things be your focus just for the next few moments. Observe, observe, observe. Avoid narratives, avoid stories, simply observe. If you feel like it, allow yourself a moment of gratitude towards your practice. Perhaps start to roll through the ankles and the wrists in one direction, and then the other direction. Let the soles of the feet come to the ground, so you bend your knees up to the earth and inhale the arms up over the head. Tuck the chin. Enjoy the length and the slight lift in the chest. Openness in the armpit. And then roll over to one side. Take a moment to have a pause, a rest, as you recalibrate with your day. And gradually draw yourself up to a seated position. And just bring yourself back to those very simple questions. How are you? How is your breath? How is your posture? How is your state of being? Let yourself feel the answer. The next time somebody asks you, how are you? Even if you don't want to tell them the exact truth, see if you can just notice in yourself what that exact truth might be. Let that be a little reminder to come back to yourselves and checking in. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you keep well.